coming out when it's a doomed product. I don't like. Why are you releasing a doomed product? But whatever. I don't own Apple stock, and I don't own any Apple products. I think I applied to one Apple job years and years ago, and here's how fucking fucked up Apple is. In order to apply to work for them, you have to have an Apple ID. So you have to create
Yeah.
an Apple ID in order to even. I'm like, what type of bullshit is this? I don't buy Apple products.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're live with another episode of BS Busters. Thank you for joining us. I was having a few issues when I created this instance of a streaming service. Of this instance of a stream. But thank you for joining us. I'll let my co-host introduce himself. Go ahead, sir. Introduce yourself.
Well, this is Kanoshi Abominito, and the internet is imploding. Reddit is gone to shit. Apparently, there's a Reddit blackout. People are mad at Reddit. People are mad at Twitch.
Well, people are mad at Twitch because they're fucking over their content providers, which is only fair. If you're basically telling people, look, I know this is supposed to be at least a 50-50 split, and now we're taking more of your money, and if you want to get paid, you have to get sponsorships.
So they say don't bite the hand that feeds you, but what if the hand is slapping you upside the face and taking half of your food? And then it's all right to
over
start
half.
maybe nibbling on the fingers.
Yeah, over half. Well, the thing is like it's flipped. Twitch is the platform, but the people who create the content are the reason people come to the platform. So why are you antagonizing the people who make the content for you? You get what I'm saying? That makes no sense. But whatever. It's Twitch. When Amazon bought Twitch, they were on a buying spree, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna buy Twitch." And it's like, okay, why? Why are you buying Twitch? And they were just like, well, it seemed like a thing to do. The reason.
What?
No, go ahead.
When you bring that up, so who's really biting the hand that feeds? Because if Twitch is providing the plates and the dishes, while everybody else is preparing the food.
Exactly.
And serving the food.
It's a very interesting procedure. I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't know what's going on. Here's what I do know. And you can tell the way my voice sounds that I'm fighting off a cold. What I do know is that ultimately what's going to happen is like Twitch has, like, they're going to run all their content providers away.
Yep.
And then they're going to have to start from scratch all over again. I don't know why. I don't know why they're doing this. Because, this is like killing. This is like you're slaughtering the golden goose.
Yeah. Sure are.
Which is functionally what's going on. They're basically saying, well, enough people will stay that it won't matter, and we can get new people on Twitch. But new people aren't going to want to come there if they know that they're not going to have an equitable amount of money for their efforts. Because, I follow some Twitch streamers. And, I follow a Twitch streamer who he seems kind of lackadaisical with his content. And I follow a Twitch streamer who they put real effort and energy into that shit. And, like it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like, why are you, But let's not forget, the reason they bought Twitch was because they could fucking they couldn't get Google. They couldn't get YouTube because Google got YouTube, and they wanted an answer to what Google was doing.
Yeah.
And Amazon has a lot of money. Like, Amazon has so much money that even when they have bad years, they still make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I don't I just whatever. But yeah, there's a valid reason for people being mad at Twitch. As far as Reddit, I mean, it's Reddit. You know, Reddit has become a place where people go to uh, what's the word I'm looking for? People go to troll and be annoying. You know,
Yeah, but
Reddit isn't a place where I'm going all out my way. Oh man, Reddit. I'm like, okay.
I found a lot of. I mean, I know people criticize Reddit for essentially being 4chan light, but like I've actually gotten a lot of useful stuff out of Reddit when it comes to looking for tech support, and troubleshooting stuff.
No,
It's actually
I'm not saying it's
I've
all
actually
like
got
that. It's like the internet.
yeah
You know, the vast, like 70% of the internet is pornography. The other 30% is useful shit. But the thing
yeah
is like you still can't ignore the other 70%. Like there are Reddit threads that have legit good information. Like there's Reddit threads that are for people in tech industries where they talk about how shitty where they work is. That if you're into tech and you have a degree in tech, you know which places you should or should not work. Where people are like honest, like this is a terrible place. Don't come here. I'm trying to find a way out right now. You know, that type of shit. So Reddit,
yeah
like just like everything else, like Twitter, like now that Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, Twitter has gotten much shittier than it used to be. But there's still places that are Twitter that are great. Like Black Twitter is still amazing. Black Twitter is still trolling people and talking shit. I love it. But I mean, I'm just, I like let me put it this way. People having a personal experience, a personal good experience about something, I'm not negating their personal experience, but I can't ignore the overall experience of a lot of Reddit just being troll posting and shit posting and bullshit. But that's most of the internet. Like most
yeah
YouTube channels are just bullshit.
yeah
Yeah, you'll get some useful ones, but most of it is just bullshit. You know, like most movies that come out in the movie theater, they're bullshit. You know, that's just I know people are gonna get mad. Oh, don't say that. I'm like, come on, man. Let's be honest. Let's
yeah
keep it 100% here, okay? Most of it is bullshit.
yeah
Turn into Darth Vader. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. You know, but that's neither here nor there. Let's keep it moving. So yeah, let's get into this first story. Let me go to. So our first story is I mean, what do you want to do first? You want to do Apple or Sandland? Let's do Apple first.
yeah we can get Apple all the way.
Let's do Apple because this this shit's ridiculous. So these are the Apple Pro. Uh, I guess is Apple's answer to HoloLens or VR or whatever. I don't know, man. This shit just it looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous. I'm gonna screen share this because it's so goddamn ridiculous that I can't just ignore it. I have to screen share this. Um, shit. I don't have the ability to screen share here. All right, I guess I can't screen share this right now. New computer, new settings. I haven't set everything up on this fucking thing yet. Anyway, so basically, people are memeing the shit out of this already. There's a meme where they have Robin Cook from Good Morning America talking to, or sorry, Robin, I forget her name. Like they're just memeing people on this shit. This shit looks ridiculous. This needed. This is. Photoshop quit unexpectedly. They're making fun of Apple. Click
Yeah.
reopen to open. I mean, it's
Yeah. Here's the thing. I was listening to a clip from the WAN show. That's Science Tech Tips podcast, and it mentioned it's like who the heck is this for? Like, this is a $3,500 product.
You want to know who this is for? You really want to know who this is for? I'm gonna get raw. Okay. You want to know whose Apple's products are really for? I'll tell you. This HoloLens equivalent is for women who only buy Apple products to have their version of a VR headset for pornography, but they're classing it up. It's been classed up. It's a classier version of it's classed up VR for people who don't want to slum it out in the remember how Jack Trenton said that the Vita was taking gaming out of the ghetto?
Yeah.
This is VR taking VR out of the ghetto. That's all this is. It's
what I'm trying to say is, like, they're selling a relatively industrial product as a consumer product. Because, for example, HoloLens, which is a product used by professionals, developers, that goes for $3,500. It starts at $3,500.
Yeah, but it's designed for professional things. It's designed for HoloLens. It's like, okay, it's for people who, like, I'm an engineer and I need to be able to have a representation of what I'm building so that I can zoom into it and look at it and, like, handle it and move it around in a 3D space and, like, set up experiments. Or I'm a scientist and I need to be able to set up I need to use my computers, my supercomputer, my computer that I have access to set up a chemical chain reaction that's dangerous without me having to physically do it in the physical world. So I'm going to use HoloLens to do it without me actually having to do it. Or I'm a surgeon and I have to simulate a surgery as best I can. That's what HoloLens is for. I'm an architect. I need to look at these plans, like the actual building and what shit's going to look like. And here's the thing. Those all sound really good ideas, but HoloLens is still not a one-for-one representation of those endeavors. It's still janky as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Apple is selling you the same thing, but this is functionally the VR headset. This is a VR headset for the upper crust, if you will. Kind of like how Apple phones are smartphones for people who want to spend way more than they need to when they just get a fucking Android phone for way cheaper.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing, and it's hilarious. This is hilarious to me.
Well, yeah, and I'm trying to say is that they're selling at industrial prices, but they only showed your basic consumer-esque. It's like a super expensive iPad.
Yeah,
they're trying to sell.
Yeah,
that's what they're trying to sell you. It's like
that's true.
They're trying to sell people a $3,500 toy.
Yeah, but that's functionally, like, this is for people who have a lot of disposable income.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if you have disposable income, this is not a bad purchase for you.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to get on the cutting edge of mixed reality, then by all means. But it's going to be interesting to see how Apple reacts when this thing doesn't
flops.
Yeah.
Only the most hardcore of Apple fans will buy this. And I don't know what to say about that except good for it. Good for you. Look, I've always laughed at Apple fans. They're like, I buy Apple products. I'm like, why? Like, do you like being taken advantage of? And then I realized, you bought into that ecosystem, so now you're kind of stuck. Like So that's basically like once you're in the ecosystem, you're kind of stuck in that ecosystem. Because Apple shit doesn't work as well on other stuff. Believe me, I used to have was it what's their movie format? Move, I think it's
Like
called
QuickTime.
QuickTime. I used to watch stuff and I'm like, well, it's got a QuickTime version, and the QuickTime version was so bad on PC that I was like, I can't even. I'm gonna wait until this gets converted over to something that I can actually, you know, read.
Yeah.
So my point, I can actually watch. So my point behind all this is to simply say this: um, this is what we're dealing with, folks. You know, them selling you an overpriced product that's probably. I mean, look, listen, the quality's probably going to be pretty good. Joe Blow average consumer is probably not going to care, and only the most hardcore of Apple fans will do it. But here's the thing: this isn't like the iPhone, where the iPhone came out at a very interesting time, where the only real like other smartphones that were around at the time were so prohibitively expensive, and people were happy with their flip phones and Nokias
Yeah.
and Blackberries and shit like that. And you know something new came out, and then like I would say, I'd say technologically the iPhone had the edge for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then Samsung and like Motorola, all these other companies came out with smartphones that shit on, and still to this day, like I say, Android smartphones are, in terms of functionality and the things you can do with them, are head and shoulders above anything Apple's come out with the iPhones. Um, yeah, it's neat that it's cool that I can take a picture on my iPhone, and as soon as I take the picture, it's already uploaded and backed up to my Apple account. That's cool, but I can do the same thing with Google with Android,
Yeah.
and I don't have to like I can create a false I can create a dummy account with Google, whereas Apple gets weird if you create more than one account with them. They get weird. So the point is just this is kind of like I don't know. You're an Apple guy. You bought into that ecosystem, so you can explain. You can give your thoughts on it because I'm gonna back away now.
Well, for one thing about the Apple ecosystem, it's kind of nice to have all your devices connected, like the iPhone, your tablet, your smartphone. But this just I already said smartphone. Your computer. You just but this thing just seems a little too excessive. A lot excessive. The thing about this thing is it's not where I would like VR or mixed reality to be at. I like the idea of it just at some point being an affordable pair of glasses that you can easily take on, take off.
So Google
But
Glass.
yeah,
So well, Google got rid of that. So good luck with that. Yeah. So look, all I'm saying is this. I am not an Apple fan. Whenever they announce a product and the Apple fans are like, "This is amazing," I'm like, stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Take a step back and
yeah,
realize you're paying 200, 300% more than other people because it has an Apple logo on it. Because that's functionally what you're doing. You're paying more because it's made by a company that has convinced people that they're worth more, even though their products, like there's a lot of design issues I have with Apple products. Like, you know, the new Mac Pro for professionals. doesn't have a graphics card slot, and they're like, well, we have visual memory, visual RAM on here, and that it's got a 196 gigs of visual RAM. It's like, that's cool, but like, that's still a system resource that like everything else is using that memory on here. Whereas like when you have a graphics card, a lot of that shit's offloaded onto the graphics card.
Yeah.
So that's actually better for a lot of applications. And applications are built around the concept, especially if you're into like, you know, making shit. They're built around the concept of concepts being offloaded, of work being offloaded to the graphics card or the CPU, or, you know, don't get me anyway. Apple just does shit just to say that they're cutting edge, and then they're like, oh yeah, this wasn't a good idea, because they do that shit all the time. Because, you know, like, remember they had the Mac Pro from years ago that was so compact that it literally like couldn't get like, you couldn't upgrade the memory, you couldn't swap out the hard drive, you couldn't add more memory to it. Like, in order to do anything, you had to take it to a Genius Bar and spend exorbitant amounts of money. And this is the, you know, this is the world we live in now with Apple. You know, I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've they've fought against right to repair and all the other stuff. I don't like their business practices when it comes to the whole right to repair.
You know, yeah, you want to not even right to repair. If you spend, like, okay, let me put it this way: if you spend $2,500 on a new desktop, you have the right to, once your desktop gets old and crusty, to take some shit and put a new thing in there. Not with Apple. No, you got to take it to us. They always do this proprietary bullshit, which I hate. I hate proprietary anything.
Yeah.
You know, you would think in this day and age that we would not have to continuously do this proprietary bullshit. But we're still doing it. We're still doing this proprietary. Hey, it's proprietary. Man, fuck off. Anyway, and if you mention this to hardcore Apple fans, they just, well, you see, the quality, but I don't think the quality is that much better than anything else. You've just been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed. Brainwashed into thinking that paying like an exorbitant amount of money over the amount of something is good. And I mean, I personally don't think that's worth it, but that's just that's all my own personal opinion. Anything else to add before we move on to the next topic, sir?
No.
All right. So overall conclusion, this is bullshit. Apple, this is probably going to fail. And that's going to be hilarious to me. Like Tim Cook up there. Well, it's still, it's fucked. It's seriously fucked. Because no one was asking for this. Like, so many other companies that have more creativity and oomph behind them, like reasons. Like, let me put it this way: there is one game that is a reason to own a VR rig, and it is Half-Life Alyx. And even that, people like Valve isn't outselling indexes. Okay, so stop with that shit. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Top 5 best JRPGs of all time. Now, this is a list. I thought we'd go through it. It's from IGN, Southeast Asia IGN. Some of these games I don't necessarily. I would not. I'll announce them. We'll give our thoughts on it, and then we'll each give our top 5 best JRPGs of all time. Some of them may be on the same thing because I don't agree with all this shit. So here we go. Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
I love Yakuza 0, and it does have a lot of RPG. Okay, I'll even grant it is kind of sort of an action RPG. Would I put it as like my top 5? Fuck no. It's not even the best Yakuza game in the series. but that's just my own. That's my own personal opinion. The next top five JRPG of all time, Final Fantasy VII. Fuck.
Yeah, of
I'm like,
course.
fuck. No.
It's gonna be there. It's gonna be on
J- j-
everybody's list.
just know,
It's gonna.
Earthbound. Okay, fair, fair. I mean, Earthbound is kind of like, I mean, like, I wouldn't put it in my top five of JRPGs, but I could understand why people would say that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it as my top five, like I said, but I can understand why people say that. Kingdom Hearts 2. Fuck you. That is not an RPG. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have Kingdom Hearts 2 is their number 4, and their number 5 is Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. Now, I enjoy Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. I think it's one of the best JRPGs that Level 5 ever came up with. I think graphically it's one of the most gorgeous games I've ever seen. I think the pacing of the game is a little too slow. I think that it takes about I want to say it takes about 10 hours for that game to really open up. And it's an RPG that Joe Blow average consumer doesn't want to put that type of energy into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the story is amazing. I think once you get past that 10-hour hump, it gets really good. But I just don't think that I wouldn't put it in my top five. But that's their list. I disagree vehemently with some of these choices. Do you have? Can you construct a top five JRPG list on the spot?
Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI. Let's see. Let's say like your Persona 4, Persona 5.
You got one more left.
And I'd say maybe Suikoden 2.
Really?
That's what I've played of it. It's pretty good.
Suikoden 2. Huh, that's an interesting take. For me, my top five. I'm going to be different. I'm going to say Chrono Trigger, obviously. Final Fantasy VI, because it's Final Fantasy VI. So I love Final Fantasy VI. I'm going to say Bait and Katos, the first one, not Bait and Katos 2. I'm going to say that's 3. I'm going to say number 4, Persona 4 over Persona 5. Persona 5 almost inundates you with so much shit that it kind of like there's so much stuff going on in that game that it's almost too much.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, god damn, there's too much. Like, and the fact that you can't even get the best ending in the game the first time you play it. You have to play the game, get like the normal or shitty ending, and then do a new game plus in order to get the best ending. I'm like, I hate shit like that.
That's
So
why you have an FAQ in front of you, so you don't have to.
no,
like,
even
so
with the
you can answer
FAQ, in order to get the best ending, you have to you have to play through it once, then play. It's like fucking what's that game from Platinum? From Square Enix where it's got like the androids and shit, and like you got to play it like 2-3 times to get the best ending. I hate games like that. It's like Ghouls and Ghosts. I hate shit like that. So then, yeah. So my number 4 is Persona 4, just because Persona 4 is so like I think it's more concise, and it's got a tighter story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The gameplay is a little bit tighter. Plus, I like the main character a little bit better than the one in Persona 5. The Persona 5 main character is just kind of annoying to me. He's like, like you're trying to be cool, but it just comes across as you just being standoffish and a dick. Um,
Yeah.
my fifth JRPG, uh, number five. You know what? I'm gonna throw a bone to Nintendo. Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah.
There you go. Those are my top five JRPGs. Now, if it was 20, I could have gone deeper, but we're going with five. Notice I didn't say Final Fantasy VII. I only have one Final Fantasy game on the thing. I could have done two, or sorry, four. I could have done five. Although five's story is a little weak, but everything else about that game is amazing. Like the battle system, how you can basically craft your own classes and create your own super classes and whatever is amazing. But the story is very basic in that game. Final Fantasy IV has a great story, but the in order to get the most out of that game, you got to play the Japanese version because they ripped out like 25% of that game in order to bring it to America because they're like, you're too stupid to know how to play JRPGs, even though America created RPGs.
Yeah.
So I had to go with six. Anyway, anything to add before we move on to the next topic, sir?
No.
Okay. Next one, Starfield. This is the hammer that Microsoft is going to drop this year. You will need 125 gigabytes of hardware space. Disk space. The minimum requirements for this system is an NVIDIA GTX 1070 Ti or an AMD RX 5700. To get optimal performance, you'll need an Intel i5 1060, or sorry, 10600K or an AMD Ryzen 5 3600X and an Radeon RX 6800 XT or an NVIDIA RTX 2080. So, I mean, you can't have, and you know that you're probably going to need something on the higher end of all of this in order to run it because Bethesda doesn't actually upgrade their shit. They just use brute force to make it go farther.
Yeah.
You know, they don't do new shit. They just do old shit over and over again. That's how they roll. So yeah. But with that being said, yeah, the max is like, you know, it's ridiculous. Anyway, your thoughts, sir?
Games are becoming too damn big.
Yeah, yeah.
The requirements aren't completely out of this world aside from storage. But
Yeah. But yeah, that's my opinion. So for me, that's my yeah. I mean, this is gonna be the it game this year, Starfield. Uh, you know, I don't want anyone saying, "Oh no, come on." We all know that Starfield is the it game,
yeah.
and anyone who tells you that it's not is lying to you. They're lying to your ass. They're lying to your face.
Oh, by what everybody's saying, it might be Final Fantasy 16. I keep seeing preview videos and being like, "Yeah, this is like the greatest game of all time."
Man, they're hyping that shit up. But like, okay, let me put it this way: if I'm playing a Final Fantasy game and I don't have party members and it's like gated progress where you're in an area and then you move on to the next area. There's no open world really to explore, no towns and villages. Is that a Final Fantasy game?
Yeah.
I mean, they can slap the name on it. Like Final Fantasy 13 wasn't a Final Fantasy game. They were running out of time and they just slapped Final Fantasy onto the title, but it wasn't a Final Fantasy game. So, you know, they're doing the same thing here.
Yeah.
And you know, Yoshi P is one of the few people, like he turned around Final Fantasy 14. He created he's the Final Fantasy Tactics guy and the Ogre Battle guy. But some people think that's a good thing. I'm like, we haven't gotten a good Final Fantasy. We haven't gotten a good Ogre Battle because this dude keeps on making fucking Final Ogre Battle Tactics, which I don't like. I don't like. Like, if I want to play Tactics, I'll go play. You know, what's it called? Fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. Why are people making this more difficult than it needs to be?
Yeah.
But whatever, man. I just
Yeah.
work here. It seems a bit shady to me. That's all I'm saying. It seems a bit like, and not to mention JRPGs haven't really been doing well for years now.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't trust it. No, sir,
Well,
not one
but
bit.
yeah.
I don't trust it. No, sir, not one bit. It's evil. Yeah, you know. I mean, they still haven't, like, even the Final Fantasy VII remake hasn't outsold the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, and that's like that's the biggest game they got is Final Fantasy VII, and they still haven't outperformed that. So at this point,
Yeah.
I don't, you know,
Yeah.
I just don't. What's the word? I don't have faith. I don't have faith. You know,
Hey, are we are we on the Final Fantasy 16 topic yet? Cause
this is we're
somewhere.
talking about it right now.
All right, all right. So the thing is, right? Um, there's this weird mentality in the gaming community where they want these companies to grow up with them. Like they want Final Fantasy 6. They're like, what? They want, they want these companies that they were a kid when they played to grow up with them. Which I always just found that very weird. Just very, just like, why? I don't know. For one thing, and another thing, um, another thing is, uh, people. Let me make something real quick. Um, People. There was this guy I was listening to a little bit. That talks about, oh, how much darker and grittier this game is, and how much eviler the villain is, and he brought up Kefka, which he thought like Kefka's the most memorable villain, but you know, the wackiness of poisoning the river. It's like, but he destroys the planet. He
I
actually
mean, like,
nukes the entire.
I
What the?
mean, but Kefka is a series of continuous evil acts. Like he fucking like he starts off as a clown, and then the farther you get into the game, you realize this man is severely unstable, and
Yeah,
his wackiness and craziness mask a deeply disturbed. He has a plan. Kefka has a plan.
yeah,
Like the whole time there's a plan in place. It starts with like, okay, when what was Edgar's kingdom called? I forgot the name of it. When he's unable to get them, he's pissed, and the people with him are like, oh shit, if this guy gets angry, he might kill us. And then it goes from there to he poisons Doma, and he's just like, yeah, I killed him, fuck him.
yeah.
He kills General Leo when Leo's like, I can't. This empire's fucked, and this is too
Yeah,
far even for me. Like I'm a loyal soldier, but this is too far even for me. This is too far. And then he finally kills the emperor,
yeah. But
and he
there's this wet there's this just this thing that's always bothered me, and I've heard this a lot when it comes to gaming. This idea of, you know, these companies growing up with you. It's like, what you don't do that for anything else, you know. You know, grown ass people that still like children's cereal,
yeah,
you know.
and it's
So
fun.
it's just kind of,
Like I don't like I still like to occasionally eat children's cereal. I don't want Captain Crunch to change their shit because I'm 37 and I occasionally like to eat Captain Crunch. I eat the shit because it's what I grew up on, and I like occasionally going back to my. That's why it's called nostalgia.
exactly.
Okay.
The and
You
the
know,
thing
that's
is,
why
it's
I'm
just
mad
kind
about
of,
Legend of Zelda is because they changed the formula so much it doesn't even feel like Legend of Zelda anymore. It's like, oh, this is Legend of Zelda. Eh,
and you bring up Breath of the Wild,
is it?
right? Or bring up that like there's probably going to be this gulf that's going to be created.
Yeah,
Uh,
they split the fan base.
yeah, with the fact that, oh, we're going to create this grimdark Final Fantasy, but we already have stuff like that.
Yeah,
You
we
know, if you
do.
want grimdark RPG,
Go
medieval
play Elden
RPG,
Ring. Go play Elden Ring.
go
But
play
yeah,
the
go play
Witcher
Elden Ring.
the Witcher
Yeah,
series. You know,
Elder Scrolls. There's tons
I
of
don't know.
there's tons of grim. The thing is this: it's not that they went grimdark. It's the fact that the things that make Final Fantasy have been stripped out of this game. There's no party members. It looks amazing. Like the summons, like from what I understand, from what the little story beats, is that there's these different kingdoms, and each kingdom has a scion, and the scion embodies like the elemental that is the emblem of that kingdom. And your character, due to some betrayal, your character who's actually like second or third or like fourth in line, like everyone gets killed, so he winds up becoming the scion of Ifrit, and his Ifrit summon looks amazing. But I'm like, where are the party members? Where are the classes? Like, this just seems like a lot of over the top fighting. Where's the RPG ness of this?
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what I mean. I don't know about you. When I play that's why I didn't like Final Fantasy 13, because it felt like you were being led down a corridor until the last, like, you, I mean, if you have to put 30 fucking hours into a game in order to get to the open world portion where you can explore and do shit, and the best, and you can upgrade your beginning weapons to the point where they're more powerful than the legendary weapons you find later in the game, your game is not very well designed.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I mean, that's my problem with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I can find the generic weapon that I can fuse some shit to in Tears of the Kingdom that's more powerful than the Master Sword. The Master Sword. It's in its name. It's the Master Sword. And yet there's shit that I can find that's more powerful than the Master Sword. That's bullshit. There's normal enemies that I can fight once you get powerful enough in that game, just like in the previous game, that are more powerful than the final boss. That's bullshit. That is not what should be happening in these games.
yeah,
And if you mention this, fans are like, oh, because they split the fan base. You know, there are people, oh, I haven't played a Legend of Zelda game since like ever, or I haven't played, like I skipped out on the N64 era, so I didn't play Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time. All I played was Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. I'm like, yeah, well, like you haven't even played some of the best Legend of Zelda games of all time. You didn't play Link to the Past. You didn't play Link's Awakening. You didn't play uh, Oracle of Ages and Seasons. You didn't play. Um, well, Link Between Worlds isn't that good. It really isn't. I kind of. I would put Link Between Worlds between. It's slightly better than no. It's below Minish Cap. It's below Minish Cap.
Yeah.
Minish Cap has a difficulty spike at the end. Like when you have to fight Vadi. Vadi's one of the hardest boss fights I've ever seen. I'm like, this is insane. But anyway, yeah, it. Don't get me started. Look, but back to your point. Yeah, they like games are like comfort food. I don't want to go to my favorite restaurant and have them change the fucking menu to appeal to a younger audience. The reason I'm going there is because they have the shit the way it used to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want what I want,
Yeah.
what I'm paying for, and I'll pay for it. But that's my own personal opinion. You have any thoughts on it, sir?
Um, my final thoughts is like, is this what everybody actually wanted in a Final Fantasy game? I don't know. I don't know. The action looks. I wish it was a different game.
Yeah, I wish it was a spinoff. I wish it was like how Final Fantasy Zero was a retelling of Final Fantasy One, or even better, like if they said, "Hey, we're remaking Final Fantasy Mystic Legend." Final Fantasy Mystic Legend was baby's first RPG for kids because SquareSoft thought Americans were too fucking dumb to know how to play an RPG. So they made a overly simplified JRPG to teach you basic JRPG mechanics to people who weren't familiar with JRPGs. That's Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Um, if they remade that game and made it into like this, where it's like the Knight Benjamin going around beating up monsters and becoming more powerful and shit like that, I'm like, oh, this is cool. But you're calling this Final Fantasy 16 the next game in your epic 16 game deep JRPG franchise? And then Yoshi P's like, well, I don't know if we can call it, because it's not a fucking JRPG. It doesn't have any of the JRPG tropes aside from it coming out of Japan. But no party members, no towns. Well, there probably will be towns, but you're going to be there to buy a few things, and then it's going to get destroyed, so you can keep on moving to the next area. Probably, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but everybody's like, "Oh man, this is gonna be game of the year." It's like it might be. I don't care.
I guarantee the people who are saying that are people who are being paid to say that, or they got early access. Because I just don't. Like I said, man, JRPGs haven't been a big thing for years.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
JRPGs have become increasingly more niche these days. So I'm not like, oh my god, this is going to be the best shit ever.
Yeah. I just kind of get your. I just kind of. I do kind of get that. You kind of get this whole you're being paid to say this vibe.
Yeah, because you find someone like, okay, if you find a reviewer who has nothing critical to say, or what the critical things they have to say is just like some lazy ass bullshit, like it's like a minor nitpick.
Yeah.
It's
That
a
was a
little,
preview. Usually previews are particularly, especially for bigger games, are particularly positive.
it's a little sus.
Yeah.
It's a little fucking sus. I
mean, I've seen games that get positive previews, and then when it's time to review it, get completely and utterly lambasted for all sorts of different reasons.
yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. So I'm basically I'm very like the more that comes out about this game and the more I hear people fangasming about it, the more I'm like I'm a little it's a little suspect. I'm sorry, it's a little sus.
Yeah.
And I want it to be good, but someone said taking money for the gospel is a sin. Yeah, I'm gonna remove that. No religious talk in here. um, yeah, I don't
I
trust
don't
it.
even know what the heck that was
Yeah,
about.
I didn't even. I was like, what?
This is
I
completely off topic.
yeah, you're gonna troll the channel. Just don't do it here. I'm a card carrying atheist. Ha, the joke's on you. Atheists don't carry cards. Um, yeah, I don't understand it. Final Fantasy 16. The more I hear about it, the less interested I am. Like when I first saw it, oh, this looks like this is gonna be awesome, and then they're like, it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and it's.
Yeah, but I became less interested when I heard it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive. It's like,
I was like,
guess I'm either waiting or I'm
because
just
I'm not
kicking this
buying a
game entirely.
PS5. Yeah, I'm not getting a PS5. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not a kid anymore. Paying hundreds of dollars for one game. I'm not a kid anymore. I don't do that.
and I'm
I
not
don't want
getting
to do that.
and I'm not getting that shit on what's the I'm not getting that shit on the Epic Game Store when it comes to PC because I didn't get Kingdom Hearts 4 or 3 when it came to the or Kingdom Hearts 3 when it came to the Epic Games. I'm like, fuck this game. I'm not buying it. Um, I'll buy shit off of GOG. I'll buy shit off of Steam. Epic Game Store. I think I bought like 2 or 3 games off the Epic Game Store. And that's because they were for studios that I really liked. Like I got Outer Worlds on Epic Game Store, but when it came over to Steam, I bought it on Steam because I really like that game. I got Hotline Miami, no, Shakedown Hawaii. I got Shakedown Hawaii for the Epic Game Store because it was an exclusive, and I liked the previous game, which was that that retro GTA style game that was making fun of retro games for the NES. Um, but yeah, that's where I'm done. That's all I can say. You have anything else you want to say before we move on to the next topic, sir?
Uh, no. I mean, for those who plan to get the game, don't let us deter you from getting the game.
Yeah, man,
Like, if
get
it's
what
something
you
you want
want.
to play it.
Your
Yeah.
money, you do it. But if it comes out and you don't like it, don't come to us and say, "Well, you didn't say anything." It's like, look, we told you so. You have no one to
Start
blame but
telling you, man.
yourself.
Yeah.
Speaking of Final Fantasy 16, Platinum Games and Kingdom Hearts 4 Studios are help. Oh, we already did that. We just did that. Avowed. The Avowed trailer showed off, and it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It looks fucking amazing. This I find this way more exciting than anything Bethesda showed during Skyrim, and that fucking cinematic thing where the guy Fusroda is a dragon. Which, if you Fusroda a dragon in Skyrim, it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's actually a useless shout to do on a dragon, but whatever. Um, it does negligible amounts of damage, even at high levels. But Avowed looks amazing. It's set in the same world as Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. So, yeah, it's got a good pedigree. I hope this game does well so that they can make a bigger game after this that's more open world.
Yeah.
But the game looks amazing, and I'm definitely going to get it. I have Game Pass, but I prefer to buy games because then I can mod the shit out of them. I don't think you can
Yeah.
mod Game Pass games because they're streamed or whatever, cordoned off in a certain area. And I like to mod my games.
Yeah.
I'm a modding mofo, as they say. Um, Another game they showed during the Xbox showcase was Fable. 4, aka just Fable, and it looked amazing. It looked fucking amazing. Um, Still has that dry sense of British humor, which I love. I hope you can still create your own character because the character they created for that trailer looked fugly as shit. Um, and that's it. I guess we're on to the free topic portion of the game, aka hot takes. So, this is the free topic portion. Anything you want to bring up, sir?
Um, all things we talked about were stuff I wanted to bring up.
All right.
So.
Uh, Here's my hot take. My hot take is this: I have zero. I have zero faith in like, even though I totally want to get Starfield, I still think it's going to be a buggy, glitchy piece of shit when it comes out. But I'm still going to get it. Why? Because of it's you know,
It's gonna be a fun game to mod.
exactly. It's the mods, man. It's always the mods. It will always be the mods. But anyway, that's the end of the cast. Anything you want to pimp out before we wrap things up, sir?
Yeah, Project Console Tuesdays, around 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there.
All right. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters. I'm glad Kadoshi joined me for this cast. Stay tuned next week where I'll be having a cast. Same bat time, same bat place, the 21st. Um, you won't see me, but I wish everyone a happy Father's Day and also a good Juneteenth. The day that many black people who were enslaved figured out they were actually free, which was like months after the Declaration of Independence was signed. And the Emancipation Proclamation, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and was passed into law. They were still enslaved, especially in places like Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Arkansas, California. Um, you know, that's gonna be Father's Day is the 18th and Juneteenth is the 19th. So, yeah, uh, everyone who has those days off, celebrate them. Say hello to your fathers and offer to buy a black person lunch. I'm being facetious. But seriously, if you have any black friends, offer to buy them lunch Juneteenth. Anyway, that's the end of the cast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to be, if you want to be, if you want to get in touch with the channel, you can reach me at mrredfoxbsbuster at gmail.com. You can also reach me at the Discord, which the Discord link is I don't quite know, but it's in the description, so you can find it. It's the deets underneath the title of the podcast, where you can basically get in touch with the channel. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can reach me via Gmail or whatever. That's the end of the cast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. Play your games. I'm not going to say hype responsibly because Our former cast member used to say that all the time, and I didn't like it. Peace.